Roll call, Brent Patrick here. Barb Patrick.
Here.
Heather.
Here.
David May. David May. Okay, approval of minutes from last meeting.
Motion to approve.
I second it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, move on to new business, construction project. Mike, how's the best way to do this? Can we go, if we have to, can we go into closed session class? Is that legal?
It is.
Can we go into it right now, or do you, I'd like to, if you think so.
Well, I think just for the context of it, you need to state what the issue is, and there would need to be a motion to go into executive session. As I understand it, there's some discussion that's necessary regarding the architectural plans and the progress of the project. And the purpose of the executive session would be potential litigation.
Okay. I make a motion to go into executive session for litigation,
Potential litigation.
potential litigation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays. Ayes have it. Okay, where we're at right now is the architect, the construction project with the architect. So it's been 3 weeks exactly to the day, and where are we at on the changes? Is everything finalized?
Folks, that's kind of up to you. Last time we met, there were some changes you requested.
That is supposed to be done by the end of the week,
And we have not
and
heard
we
one word.
have not heard nothing
Well-
since then.
Okay.
And we were supposed to, what we're going to do, there was a money issue, and we have decided that we want to stick with the original contract of the $195,000. What was originally done, that you all, that'll be the most you all can get if you want to continue the project.
Okay. Folks, I'll have to look at that. Let me answer a couple of your questions. One, I think the plans are everything that you all have requested. We were still getting some requests last week, but we don't know if it's final until you all say it's fine. Okay? We were on the impression we were doing what you wanted in making additional changes. I'm sorry?
That one's not.
Okay, so what are we missing?
Showing them one.
Ouch.
Right here.
Okay. Let's see, try to explain.
We looked
this.
through them.
That's fine.
Right here, we like all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
We do want that.
That was
Right.
after I sent you those on Thursday,
Thursday.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what was,
Like they closed in there. I wanted you to explain to me how the, okay, one question. So we like these. Is there, can you do that?
With the columns, you really can't do
Not
the
with that.
brackets. Not with the column. It's just not.
Add them to the side.
well,
The other, I know that the first changes when I met with Barb and Heather and we sent you, so I know you raised this, y'all explained.
We raised that.
And.
We made
you
it
got the
larger.
Yes,
I like
larger.
that.
But there is still a 18
Correct.
inch.
If we push it over too far, we're going to have a water issue where the water is running back
Into the building.
into the building.
Okay.
And we don't recommend.
So we've squeezed it down. We've left just a few, maybe 18 inches to 2 feet of space there. If you look at the plan, when you widen, as we widen this, you can see that somebody's gonna be drawn into there. A little kid might run there, but we can also do some
We talked about
landscaping.
doing that railing, is that
Or we
what
could
it's-
do a railing in that little corner just to make sure
But is that
nobody-
18 inches, oh, can I stand there and look at the sky, is that open or is that connected to
covered.
the, it's covered to the
Yes,
building?
yes,
So it is
yes,
covered.
it is
Okay.
covered.
Okay.
One question I had on that topic, it doesn't really show, what's the guttering system?
It'll just be a standard gutter and we'll have to, and we'll
So
have
we
to
haven't
locate
shown
those.
those.
We haven't shown those yet.
Yeah, so I mean, that's gonna be, I mean, especially the downspouts are gonna be.
Right.
We'll tuck them, I mean, if it were me, I would tuck one back here where it's not out in the front, and then back in that little recessed area where I'm talking about, so that they're not taking away from the,
Yeah, folks, we're still,
Gutters just stuck out.
So,
we're still manipulating the roof a little bit to make these changes, so that would be the next thing we would do.
Okay.
To show.
Did you talk about back here on the balcony?
so on this right here, this is just like a half.
that's just a half
okay.
column, correct?
Okay, so is this still, what, because what is this gonna be? Stop, I mean,
It's shown as limestone.
Showing as
right now.
Lines.
Or stone, I should say. It's not,
Yeah.
it would probably have to end up being an actual limestone. but-
with the okay, so we had talked when y'all were out, if we wanted this floor column look back here, would that be, like, to run that, would that be an issue to
It's not a structural issue, it's an appearance issue.
appearance? Yeah.
Mike asked me about that. I just think the scale of those are getting a little big.
Big.
So again, as your architect, I work for you all, but I want to advise you that
Yes.
I just think they're going to look a little big, that's all. But that's your all's call.
Okay, so the other.
This
right here.
And let me also say that if we were to put these back here, we're not gonna get the, I've increased the size of this, it might not be as evident. They are 4 feet wide now, so they're this big.
I do like the arch and things.
And I'm, based on your
Yeah.
comment Friday, I
Right.
moved that up here. I did have to take it away down here because it looks a little strange to have an arch
I think
over an
I think it
arch.
looks better with the arch
Yeah.
on top.
I do.
And we beefed up those smaller columns in the back. We've increased the size of these too, because they
what's that-
last time they were really
Little.
skinny. So we've increased the size of those. Those are 18 by 18 right now.
On the back side of the building, how
It's the
many
same.
columns? was
There's
it?
3. You can see it in the plan here.
Okay.
See, I like that.
We got this. These are the 3 that you're seeing. This one's kind of funky shaped because it turns the corner, and then you got 2 more.
So what size are those? How big are those? when you
These
say-
are right now. I have them as 4 feet wide, and I didn't make them
So that's
as
wide.
deep so they wouldn't take up as much space.
Much deck space.
So
less deck
so
space.
4 feet is, yeah, I mean, it's.
It's my shoulders, maybe,
Yeah.
or on my chest level.
That's right, I do too.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So just for example, this board is 24 by 36.
Yes, that's good.
So it's another foot wide.
Yeah, I know what
Pretty
4 feet,
big
but I was
size.
saying like I was saying, because that's what he liked in
4
that
feet
first
like a wide
plan.
on column.
But here's what you like though on, is
That's
what,
based on that image that you sent
on
me.
this one, those were 4 feet that you liked.
Excuse
Is
me,
that, that's what I was
sorry.
trying to get
Mhm.
at, these were 4 feet.
Now on this,
Height
we
doesn't
agree
make it-
with,
The height of it's gonna make it look nice and wide.
Not as wide.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, exactly. And if you make it too narrow, it starts to look.
'Cause-
And we had those other ones in there previously because we were going with the wood.
So these were 4
An all
feet.
wood
These are
system.
4 feet on this, which we're taking off that.
Correct.
All right. No, I'll be out if I can, I'll be there.
That's what
we
we
did.
did.
I like it.
So.
Okay,
on
with
the-
this.
On this.
Do you want to look
we-
at the one with all the tall columns? Does it
Yeah.
matter?
Okay, now this, I do.
Yeah.
But I
But
was,
we talked,
what do you think, arch that comes out?
since we changed that.
Here and here, leave this, just everything, just an arch on this. What do you think about that?
If it were me, folks,
What do you think?
since we're now adding this gable element,
Uh-huh.
on these
Okay.
pieces, I'd make them match.
I do
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
so.
we think that those need to.
Now,
Right.
the one thing that Mike and I are struggling with a bit with the arch is where it's gonna hit your ceiling. So we may have to kind of box around it or make it glass that you can't see through, so it might be arched on the outside. But we're either gonna have to raise the ceiling, which adds cost, or sort of box back behind it.
What's in that area?
Make it smaller.
On this,
Your quiet study.
it's the quiet study, so one other nice thing is that it's centered up on here now that we only have
Yeah,
those two.
so it wouldn't matter.
Here, I think it probably, we could make it work here with the stair. Over here in the children's area, it might have to get cut off or be expanded.
But, so what Mike and I could do though, just so you all know, is we could stop the low ceiling here and then step up, potentially. It's just a little more cost because we're framing a little more. But if we like that arch, we just have to figure out a way to do it.
Definitely needs the this round also.
Okay,
Would you
sure.
go round with that?
Yes, we actually debated whether or not to show
Yeah,
around.
because I like the
Yeah,
And we,
round, yeah.
we
I like
okay,
that.
put
Yeah.
it,
Besides that.
And you like the windows straight like that?
No,
No,
we're
we're
doing
That's what I was
talking
thinking,
To
they need
match.
to match
To
that.
But besides that, I like it.
now, the one thing I thought of that would make these stand out a little more without adding a lot of cost would be possibly to bring the brick down the whole way at these two elements. And just let the stone kind of run behind it. It'll make them pop out a little
Pop
bit
out,
more possible.
I could go with that.
So it's kind of the exact opposite of this, where this one's all stone, these are all brick.
I'll give it a little classier
Yeah.
look. Can
Well,
you have all
well,
these back to us by Friday?
When we talk about adding costs, what are we talking about here? I ain't too much on
Well, and
costing the taxpayers any more money.
right. I think the appropriate thing, so yes ma'am, I can add the arch windows. And were we actually changing anything else?
The
That-
And the logo,
Logo.
arch windows
That's
and
it.
logo.
And the brick, do you want the brick changed here?
Yeah, I'll make this brick come down to stand out.
I think let's show it to you both.
I
That's
think
an
so,
easy-
Yeah, that's an
definitely.
easy
I
one.
can't,
Is this the
yeah.
only area now that we have with the large?
It
I
is,
wish we could do,
Can we,
maybe there.
or I don't know.
again,
Or
that's,
do they
it's
need to-
it's a
or
cost.
does that-
It's like you start adding all this decoration everywhere. I mean, we can show them, and
Which
it's
is
something
fine
that could
on
always,
that side
It is.
too. I mean, because it's not in competition.
if we go everywhere, what we could do is go to a single one instead of the double. We go a single and a single, and maybe, I mean,
I
that,
would think leave it.
Yeah,
I like
definitely
that.
leave that.
Because if you're gonna arch this, that might take care of it.
It will. I think so too, because I don't like the single.
No, it just, it looks like it needs something to hold it up.
Folks, one question I might have for you. Since we're switching and putting arch windows on the top, but it would affect the size of the window in your office,
know.
and should we do the same thing here? Make
I
it
was
flat
thinking the
here,
same, yeah,
arch
that's what I was
here.
thinking of the same.
And see, that way, all of these elements
I
would be
think
the
these are
The
same.
same.
But these are arched, right? In
those
here?
ones
Yes.
are arched.
Uh-huh.
then
Which
this
I
one-
like those in the teen area.
That
I do
definitely
too.
needs to be arched then to match the rest. Because it's gonna stand out like.
Well, does it need, the difference, you got the corbels here and you don't have those over there with, you know. If you did the arch, would you take these away?
No.
Because you don't have them on
And
I don't know. What do you think? Who does?
this,
Folks, understand why, I mean, you want to get this right.
What can we do without raising the price? I mean, can you,
Now see.
see, I have these
that-
as well, because that
Yeah,
elevation
that looks
kind of.
good for us. It does.
Now you're
I
coming into
really
view.
like that.
Now
That
it's
looks
starting
good.
to.
You like that?
yeah, just, I mean, it don't matter.
Yeah,
I just-
I like it. Well, now Melanie.
So Brent, then to come back to your question.
Because here's my thing is,
there have
Homes don't need
been,
it.
a number of things that have changed, probably since the last time Hopedale did your rest. I think it would be appropriate to have them take a look at these changes and give you all a new number of what they think the building's gonna
But I think you can.
Well, here's the thing,
Yeah.
that
So should you leave this one?
we've agreed on a budget,
Or should
you know,
take it?
everybody needs to stick to
Well,
the
let's
budget.
see.
See, because this one
I
didn't
mean,
like right
yeah.
arch, and
No,
then they
no.
switched it.
Man, this
So
county,
if you arch this,
mean,
you're not gonna
I
arch
got
this.
So let's make.
I mean, we
make this
agreed on a
acceptable.
budget, I think we need to stick to it,
Square this
whatever we
one
can
off.
do, you know.
And arch that way.
I think minor changes can be
You
done,
think
it don't
that,
try a
what do you
little
think?
What did you think?
bit. This
I
budget
think
can
that's what
just,
Tim
there's no limit.
Yeah,
saying.
I think that
Square
makes
this
sense
one.
since we're doing it on the
Yeah.
front. If you
That
just
way
did
you
it on,
kinda-
if you just did this on the front, it would be okay, because it would make that more
Right,
special.
right.
But if you're gonna
Yeah.
do it on the other side, you need to do it here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Do that change then.
And so with these been these are 4 feet, what is this, 2?
It's
It's at
18 right
18.
now.
That's a big size.
Now, the ones on the front, the taller ones are 24 inches right now.
Uh-huh.
So they're a
Now,
little
did you,
bigger.
what did you, see, I like it down on the,
I actually like it back up a little bit, like the other one. I think it's, from the road, it's,
You like this?
yes,
Yes.
I personally like that
this
better.
one. But the first one you sent me was here, I hated that. That was
Yeah.
on Thursday, that was, I knew that you all went, that had the round ones. So, yeah, that looks better than the first one you sent, but
And
I
then
like
it's
that.
flat on.
Yeah, there's the flat on. Because, you're gonna landscape over at this corner. So really, you're gonna hide the bottom of those columns somewhat with your landscaping most likely. This puts them up where you're gonna see them. It's a little bit closer to what I understand to be the road level. It might be a little bit above.
See that?
There you go. Look at it.
Let me get on there and see.
What do you think, Brett?
I like the one on the right.
You
Am I
like
right or
that?
you're right?
This and this.
You like this one better than,
Well, where it matches the, over
close.
there. That's the only reason I say that, I mean,
And folks, here's my thinking for what it's worth. Let me steal that real quick.
Uh-huh.
On the other side of the building, these same elements that go down the side, these,
Uh-huh.
they only go down one bay. So we thought that keeping the look of this one sort of,
We actually got rid of that. There's that other, this is no longer over here.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying
On the street
on
side.
the street side.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
which is
sorry.
right here.
The scale of the ones on the street side is from there up. So that's why we were thinking both
Yeah.
sides.
I'm sorry.
But
Well,
it's a taste issue.
I do
but-
like, I mean, the first one you sent me was up here, so. I did
Yeah, it
not like
was-
that
it was
either.
out the window,
It
it's
was, yeah,
still
it was
like-
worse than the, so. but it's- Go back there and look at it. See, I like this one
Now,
best.
just see,
Tell me.
now see, I like
What do you
this.
think? What do you think, Mike?
He likes them both.
I think the changes are.
Here, hold it, Barbara, let me walk back. I like to walk off. You wanna look, Heather?
I am,
Yours says something.
I think the
You
one on the
wanna
left's a little like.
I think so.
Which one?
More like an entrance, I think.
yeah, but hell, you don't walk in there, do you?
No, but
That ain't no-
that's
that ain't
your,
no-
that's the.
That's the focal
the front
point.
of the building.
What do I know, hell? I'm outnumbered. Do whatever, I just want to stick to the budget.
Women always win.
With the arch.
Yes.
Arch. I like it.
The one on the left makes it
I think
seem
so, too.
taller
Which
and
direction that facing?
Right.
that,
Downtown, that's like the front of the church.
Okay.
it's,
I like the left.
Facing downtown.
I do too. All right, and then the arch windows and,
Yeah.
It don't matter to me
Oh, it'd be
no more, I
beautiful.
don't care.
Now, please notice too,
Uh-huh.
that when I put this arch window in here, to keep this arch from getting too big, we've gone down to a 2-unit window.
Right.
As opposed to a 3.
And I
Yeah.
wanna make sure you realize that in
Yeah.
this office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then the window under that will be, are you gonna take that up? Yeah.
it will.
This will
Take
be
it flat.
square.
We'll take it flat,
Yeah.
but it'll be
This
that
be
tall.
arched.
Yeah.
But in the teen area, we're gonna keep those arched under there.
Right, but can we take them down to a 2-unit
So they
Yeah.
all match?
so they all match?
I think that would be one.
oh, that's gonna
Because
be
we
beautiful.
wanted all
Now
the-
look. I
I think
Now,
it gives it a.
we still have an arched window too back here underneath.
Yeah.
I saw that, I like that.
So then, Mike brings up a good question. So in your meeting room, when you're inside of it right now, this window would be flat and that one would be arched. Should we make them the same? And make them flat?
When you, is this the same height as that arch window? Like if I'm standing out here in the parking lot looking,
They spring from the same
Is
point, but
this-
it's not as wide.
it's not as wide.
It's not as
Yeah.
wide. It is centered.
But you do, it is center of that,
Yeah.
right?
This
So,
one, this
it'll
window
line
will
up.
be centered on this opening. Now, unfortunately, our door, as you can see, is a little off center.
Yeah.
But this window is centered on.
We don't want just a block.
Because I think if we're keeping these arched, then I would keep that one
I
arched.
just wanted you to realize when you stand in the room,
Don't
you'll
you?
have
Let's see.
2 different windows.
Yeah, if we're keeping the teen area arched, I think this one needs to be arched. This one goes square to match this, but that's a,
And it could be nice, it's kind of frames.
that,
the
it frames
park.
this, that's what I was
It frames
asking, yeah.
Towards the park.
The only problem inside is what he's saying, inside the meeting room, you're gonna have one arched, but that doesn't bother me because, I mean, this is gonna be square and this is gonna be arched. I think, yeah. You did, yeah, I think leave it, because I think it'd be pretty looking through here and it's arched. And it matches those.
So that way it ties it in.
So this will match this.
I think
Oh,
we're
that's
about
gonna
to
look
get on
so
the right page.
That's
Good.
it. Oh, that looks good.
Now, tell me again, just one last thing I want to be sure of is the logo. So you want it round?
Round.
We
Okay.
looked at, the one that we liked was the, is it Lawrence County had
Yeah,
the round
theirs is
rice,
round.
right? Yeah.
Right, okay.
Now, is that set back into the brick or how is that? I mean, that looks like it's,
This one we
Hanging
had it
on there.
projecting out.
Uh-huh.
So I would think,
Oh, that's like a shadow around it, see?
right.
yeah, I think,
I would
Yeah.
think, so keep in mind, we have these bands that come around like this, right? I would think if we're gonna go round, we would wanna stay inside of the band, so the image may be a little smaller.
would that put air,
But that's,
would that interfere with the signage?
No,
too?
it
I
won't
mean,
interfere with the signage at all, because I'm staying the same width.
I see what you're saying.
I'd hate to
See?
cut the size
Right.
down.
So to keep the size of it, then it's gonna.
I really don't have a problem with the square. I'd rather
What
have
size
it-
is that?
What- Yeah.
What size is
I'm
that?
trying to- I have to count brick. I
Oh,
know what
really?
the top.
Okay,
What is it like?
goodness.
Our window sill is at 32, and I believe the head is.
44.8
42.
above the sill line.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
guessing.
around, yeah.
So again, so that's to here. So again, that circle would be that wide and out to my hand. So it's 4 foot around.
4 foot, that's what, yeah. If you went with the circle.
If we went with the
So
circle.
that's probably what, 5 foot right there?
It's probably 4 foot wide, but probably 5.5 or 6 feet tall, because Mike's got it running up a little higher to fit the proportions of it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's round.
Because that round, those, what size are those letters? Because if that's 4 foot, then those,
Letters are gonna be.
Two.
Probably
They're very,
18.
very
Two.
large, 18, probably. I
18.
think they're about 18
Yeah.
inches.
Well, and the round would kind of blend in with the arches.
I think if you go around though, it's gonna look small compared to.
I
the
know,
side.
do too.
that's what I'm
I think I'd
saying, it's
rather
gonna-
keep it
I
to
know,
the
that's what,
big-
yeah, this,
This-
The actual letters,
Yeah.
we can make the letters a little smaller.
No.
No.
Don't want that.
No.
Just leave the
I
square.
don't have
Yeah.
that big of a problem
No.
with it.
We won't squabble over this, over the
Mm-mm.
size or shape.
I'd rather have it big.
Yeah,
Bigger, you know.
But
I'd rather
people
have it
know
bigger.
it's there.
Yeah. Well, this looks good.
Yes.
I'm pleased
I like
with that.
I like this.
I do too, I like it. Mhm.
Do we decide to go?
no.
No, I'm
that's
I'm
what
working
we're
it out.
I'm just putting it in my notes, that's all.
And
Do you see
nope,
anything
this
else?
one.
Yeah, there you go.
Flatten this up.
That's right.
We're gonna keep the arches back there.
So we're
gonna
good
keep
on the
that arch.
unfortunate.
And
Go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else looks good. You just make that.
Okay.
Arches on it, yep. that's
Now,
it.
you said you're still working on the roof. What are you talking about, working on?
In the last couple of weeks, we've added, like, those elements. At one time, they were straight across. We've added those in.
I
So
like
it's just,
And there's
We're
been
getting
some
it where you
minor
want.
tweaks around how this connects.
Mm-hmm.
So he said
So
he
then
can
we
have them
discuss
to us by Friday. Now, we have to have them Friday.
All
Oh, you-
right, what is that stone? On Morgan County, the Justice Center.
Uh-huh.
What is that?
That's Kentucky limestone, all right?
it's Indiana limestone, it is real
Okay.
limestone.
And
Okay.
that's
So,
more
but
expensive.
you can
It
do a
is more-
cast.
You can do a
It is.
cast stone.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You can see that, run up to Moorhead, their student recreation, or the Student Recreation Center and the, Student Center both have cast stone.
I want to see.
And you have to forgive me, I
Uh-huh.
still have that small hatch
Yeah.
pattern here. I took it off on the renderings, but I printed these out real quick this morning and forgot to change it. So these would, if we go with the larger panels like you're talking about, we're probably gonna have,
I think they,
These will probably be divided
let's see it in there. What do you
and then
think,
we'll
Barb?
larger
I mean,
spaces.
I really like it.
Got it too.
So we'll do,
Let's see it like we showed you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Can we get this done by Friday?
Yes, ma'am?
Yep. So
Okay.
are they coming back down, or are we gonna do it by mail, or what?
Give us a look with
Nothing
that
by mail.
limestone too.
What?
Nothing.
I-
Nothing by
I
mail.
wanna see it
He
in
wants,
that limestone
wants to see you
bed.
come
The
back.
cast.
It
The
won't look
cast, I
any
mean, the
different.
cast. Uh-huh.
When the way we render it, it's gonna look the
The same,
Yeah.
okay,
Because
okay.
with
I
that,
didn't
you
know.
can't tell.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So then in brick
I
color, will
thought
we
they probably
get
could, I didn't
to,
know. Yeah.
we'll actually get us,
We'll actually bring physical
Sample,
samples.
that's
We'll get,
what-
we'll
okay,
find
Okay.
one.
But there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can bring you all samples and pick now, or we can provide an allowance for the contractor to say, give us a brick that costs so much, and then we pick from that range. Um,
We need to stay in a
I have
cost
one
range.
question. I've
Well,
been
that's
forgetting to
normally
ask
what we
this.
do.
The
But what
steps
that
are
means
going off to
is
the street
that we
side.
wouldn't actually
What
pick
is-
the brick
what
until
will
They
under
will be
construction.
They'll be
Well, I was gonna
concrete.
say, there's no need right now to.
There's not, because there would be a lot of things that you would pick during construction. So we're gonna
Right.
get samples of the bracket material, of the trim, of the shingle. I don't
Right.
think you wanna pick all those at once, lay them on the table and say, here's what we want.
Exactly.
Would be my suggestion.
One time to be
And
done.
be done. And then we do another on the inside. So we do the outside first, because they need that information sooner.
Right. So what time do you all want to come back Friday? I
Well,
have to be a pain.
To make it clear on the budget issue, you said we might
Do you
pick it
think
up
we
to
can
John or
have this done
Codell.
sooner than Friday? Or no
Uh,
way?
We've given them a budget of
I'll have to see.
3.2 million.
Okay.
That's,
I think that
It was
Friday at the
4.2.
latest, I'll get them to you as quick as I can.
we
Friday will be the absolute latest.
Okay.
I will probably be here on Friday, yes.
and we're the highest
Um,
employed
and
county in the
I'm
state
sure-
of Kentucky.
or
Yeah.
one. Is that all right?
Unless it seems like every meeting
I'm
I
sure
hate
Chuck
to
will
be
want to
wants the
be
budget
here.
to go up.
Can I check
We've
with
got
his schedule?
3.2, it has to be.
Well, I have to check both their
Let's
schedules.
do what we can do for 3.2.
We'll
Somebody's
shoot for
here.
that time, 12:30 on
Yeah.
Friday.
I hate to be so picky.
Mr. Chairman, if you don't
Your eyes
mind,
has got to be-
we all need to
Can I go with
have
you?
that conversation.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's all sit back down here. We gotta agree on this right here. It's been agreed on once.
Yeah, we agree that this is, now we've satisfied, and that we want them by 12:30 here Friday.
12:30 Friday.
That suit you okay?
Have it.
We ready?
Oops.
So Mike, the other question I had is,
What is
the figure that the board has given us is 3.2 million. How does it compare to the last Codell estimate?
The last Codell estimate, we were right at.
At 3.2?
Yeah.
Okay. So folks, I want to be honest with
No, it's
you.
at 4.2.
Just so we're clear, that's a project.
Project cost.
That's a project
The
cost.
construction cost was right where we actually had to squeeze the building down to 10,000 square feet for, and Kodo said we were within their
But see, that
budget.
decreased, like the work you had to do.
Right, and it shrunk the size of the building. We had to rework.
No, I'm talking about the total projected cost. The entire cost.
The project cost.
The project cost was right at 4.2 million last time, before we come on board, the new board.
Okay?
I ain't got that paper with me, but that's what it was, wasn't it?
Definitely.
It was right at 4.2 roughly.
Total project cost.
Yes. It was roughly 4.2, just shy of it.
Okay.
I forgot the exact numbers. So we cut it back down to a 3.2. Remember, we started out at 2.8,
Right.
then they come back, we went to 3. Now we're up to 3.2. We got to do a cutoff somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's cutting it $1 million. And listen, that's going from a 15,000 square foot to a 10,000 square foot, roughly. So, a 3.2, we have to stick on a budget here, because we can go up to 6.2 if we don't watch it.
I don't know, and then we will be in a problem.
And I don't, you know what, I'm outvoted on how it needs to be, you all can make it look however you want to.
You told us to.
I don't care, but I think we need we're getting, everybody needs to be on I'm a 3.2, what about everybody else?
And Mr.
Yes.
Chair, if I may, I just want to be clear, is that 3.2 construction or 3.2 total project? There's a big difference.
Total project.
Is 3.2.
That's what I said, total project is $3.2 million.
Okay.
And you're all aware, that's what, some of the.
That's what it
more
was at the
recent,
beginning.
Invoices
Mhm.
indicate. You all had about 3.36. There's a number that you all use.
Well-
As a project cost.
Well, but I want to be clear, that was construction costs is what we invoice off of, not total projects. And I'm concerned we have a problem here, so I want to catch you.
Oh, yeah, I
now.
know we got a problem.
So we are, Mike, at roughly 10,000 feet.
Yes, it's 10,000 square.
Does that include?
That does not include the deck, that's just the building.
Okay, and that
Um,
includes the basement level,
Yes,
or the first floor?
first floor and second floor.
Okay. So
And
roughly
I think
10,000.
It's
John.
just roughly over 10, I think, 10.1 is what.
Yeah, it was-
last
yeah.
time.
Because it was an odd.
Yeah, it's just roughly 10,100 or something like that.
And I think John Leap was using a square foot cost of 241 per square foot.
Okay. So that's where we recently bid.
Let's see, he's using 242.98 exactly.
242.9.
Okay. So that takes us to 2,454,098. All right. 4298 square foot. Okay.
He's got on here 2,429,793.
Okay.
Just reading you what he's got.
No, thank you, that's perfect. So then what, here's the only thing I would like to do. My only concern, folks, I'll be honest with you, is snow. cost, and we've added some here. You know, we took it up the front that we didn't have before. Our deck is completely under roof, which is everything you all wanted. And
Oh,
we're
yeah.
trying to give
Yes.
you what you want, okay? So here's where we would then be. I'd still like to confirm with John that he says this is a 2.4 number. If he doesn't, if he says it's now 2.6 because stone is expensive or the deck is bigger or the roof is bigger, okay? I'd like to know about that sooner rather than later. There's two options then. We back off on the cost of materials. We don't cover as much roof of deck, or then we have to cut down on the finishes inside. There are many things we can do, and we're here to work through that with you. I want you to understand that. My only issue is I want to find out right now and not after you bid it. All right? Does that make sense? So I'm trying to protect the board and its mission and this number. So, Mr. Chair, I'm hearing your direction. I just want the opportunity to go back to the construction manager and say, now that we have this, let's confirm the cost. Because if we have an issue, then we could come back to you and say, well, you know, could we do, instead of stone, we could do an accent brick. Brick costs much less than stone, okay? So we could keep the look. Maybe the only stone is those columns, so we have something nice there, okay? But I need to know where the construction manager that you all want to oversee construction thinks the budget is, and then I work to that budget. Does that make
Well,
sense?
let me explain this though. Last meeting, the budget was at 3.2, right? And we ain't making a whole, I mean, were there a lot of changes that was supposed to be done from last
No.
meeting? It wasn't nothing, mate. I mean, it wasn't, I don't see a big price difference.
Well, and
I don't think he's saying that there's going to be a big price difference.
No,
He just wants to
just-
make, he wants to know what it is to tell
We
you,
have-
Right.
so that you know.
So he has to go talk to him, to John. Okay.
Well,
makes sense?
yeah. Like I said, since we took over, it started out at 2.8. Then it went to 3. Now we're at 3. I think we need to end it sometime.
I understand that,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Is all the board in agreement to let's end it at 3.2?
Well, here's what I suggested.
We better wait.
You're, before, I mean, I think your target is right. You're right to say, this is what our target is. But it can go badly both ways. You can say, we want it to be, if you say it's gonna be 3.2, no more, but $500 more means something good that you've locked yourself in that you can't do. It also tells the construction manager and maybe people on the back end of this that, hey, they've got 3.2 that they're gonna spend, so we're gonna make sure they spend it. It doesn't mean that you're gonna spend it, it means that you don't wanna spend more than that. If we can spend less, let's spend less. So don't put that number in concrete until we know what.
No, if we can do 3 million, that's even better.
Sure.
If we can
sure.
do 2.5,
See,
but I just think the maximum needs to be 3.2.
I think everybody's on board with that, and
And then let's do it cheap as we can for the taxpayers. If we can do it for 3 million, let's do it for 3. If we can do it for 2, let's do it for 2.
One thing I might, sorry.
you have to get with John, right?
We do.
Okay. Can, do you think he can, well, by Friday, he could do, no, 2, couldn't he? You can get up with him.
Well,
I mean,
I
I
don't
would
wanna
just like
speak
to
for
see
them.
it getting on
oh,
track.
all of us are on the same page there. I didn't want to speak for them. We can certainly send them the latest,
Yeah.
and they have the latest plans. I don't think square footage has changed, so it's just a matter of, okay. I don't want to speak for him, but I'll certainly leave here today and we'll talk to John,
Good.
okay? Now, folks, the other thing I would suggest that we do as we go forward, and John will help us do this, is we could set up certain, what we call alternates. So there are options on bid day. So, and you all would approve all these, I'm just thinking out loud here. So, one alternate could be that the base bid is that this is an accent brick color. And then we tell the contractors, give us a price if we were to change that brick to stone. Okay? And then you all could decide when you have bids in hand.
Gotcha.
Whether you want to pay the extra cost, you would know what the upcharge is. And it gives you some flexibility if the number is higher than you were wanting to say, well, we just won't take the stone. So we'll work with you to help you manage that 3.2. And really my charge is the 2.45.
Well, that would be, what's that come to?
I'm sorry.
Are we right on that, 195,000?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, what? Figure it, Larry, I mean. We,
'Cause that's
the
what,
other board, what I'm trying to say here, the other
Okay.
board, this wasn't us,
Yes, sir.
but the other board, of course,
right there.
the other board had 195,000, as you can see, in the architect, for the architect fund. Of course, if you done it for 150, you done it for 150. The 195,000 was the original agreement, is my understanding. So I just want to make you aware that we're going to stick with the original agreement of giving you no more than $195,000, which I think is right at where it would be.
I think so. Is that from this point going forward, starting with this design?
No, that's from day one. That ain't from this point going forward.
Okay. Folks, I'll take a look at that. I think unfortunately what you're going to find is that we have done, I think Chuck can bring this back, we have done a number of different designs of different sizes and scales and looks through the history of this. So,
How many blueprints have the board, have we received?
We received the presentation, the concept drawing, and then, I think you provided us, which we wasn't charged, for this. I don't think, that was just one that they were going over. But then once the building had to come down, well, actually, you all had done, we liked the concept one, but then when the survey, you discovered that there's underground utilities.
there's all kinds of utilities out there, right?
So-
Things wouldn't fit, right?
So the L shape of the building
Mhm.
was cut off, but then you had a renovated area that was mainly used for lot weight and then a
Mhm.
small
Right.
addition.
Mhm.
So that's when they decided to bring the building down and replicate the building. So then Chuck
Right.
and Maria came back with a model
Mm-hmm.
that the board did not like because it didn't replicate the building, which Chuck told us we were not charged for that at the last meeting. So
Okay.
up to that point, I don't know, we was not charged for the concept drawing. That was your all's presentation when we
Oh,
hired,
right,
okay.
right. Yeah, sure.
Then this one, I'm assuming because we didn't request this was something when they
Okay.
were still working on the budget, because I have the email you sent me with this. So then we had, that's the new, that's sitting over there as well, that's the one that Chuck is saying is 75% complete, I guess.
Okay.
Is what he said he had. We didn't see it last meeting,
Okay, sure.
but that's all I have.
Right, okay.
So I've never received any plans other than renderings like these, what we have here.
Yeah, that's
I've
fine.
had the concept ones and that, so I'm not sure.
So you all have,
What?
you all have been,
There was I know that there was a set of drawings that we packaged together that I believe was sent to you guys when we were told to stop in October.
I never received anything.
Well,
That,
we
well,
can
oh
send
yeah, I received by email that drawing that I pulled up that.
No,
one-
this is a set of documents. I had it here last time.
Well, here's what
We-
we'll do.
all right, okay,
I'm on-
hold on now, hold on. You all have pulled down roughly, right at $150,000 out of this escrow account.
Mhm.
$150,000. And they ain't been a shovel put in the ground yet.
Right.
Okay, now you're wanting to start out new, that's gonna be roughly, correct me if my math is wrong, $330,000 of taxpayers' money that you will receive, roughly.
I'm not sure.
Well, Figure it up there.
Um,
I mean, you've already been paid roughly 150,000. So you're wanting to, according to this right here, architect's estimated fee 183. Is my math wrong? Is that roughly 330,000?
I think it is, yes, sir.
Give or take 5 or 10,000 maybe. So that's what you will receive from the taxpayers of Magoffin County here. If we stick with this right here, that's correct. Let me make that clear to everybody. That's what you will be getting.
Okay.
I do not agree with that. I agree with the original contract of $195,000.
Okay.
Is what that was the original deal, is my understanding. And like I said, there ain't been a shovel put in the ground, and you all pulled down almost $150,000. I mean, you've got to explain all this to me.
Well, here's what we'll do, sir. I think we ought to pause here. I think you all have a concern about fees and budget. I think before we go any further with work, I want to get this settled with you all. I will put together a package that demonstrates to you, and unfortunately I know you all are new board members, every step that we were requested to do, every invoice that we sent, every invoice that was signed off on and was processed.
So all these were these invoices signed off on by a board member?
And you'll have to tell me
There's
that,
no
sir.
name on
Where there was no name anywhere. Melanie, were there any board members signed off on any of this?
These invoices, when they come to us, say paid on them.
Nobody on this board approved it, right?
Well, I'm not sure how you could. These were before you guys got here, right?
But
The previous board.
this invoice, October the 31st has paid, we didn't have a board in place. My other board had resigned, and this board had not been appointed, and that
Yeah.
one was paid,
So they pulled down money without a board being in place here? Who pulls that money down from you all? What person does that?
Folks, at this point, since you used certain language when you went into closed session, I think it's best that we discuss these things further with attorneys. I understand what you all are saying. I understand your concerns. I think you've had some difficult history here. We'll move forward, but I think we should do so, council.
Okay, so does that mean you're gonna provide those changes by the end of the week, or you're not doing anything
I don't think
else?
that's appropriate right now, because I have tremendous concerns about what you're asking me to do to finish the project. There's not enough either to pay consultants in my team. And I'm sorry that you all find yourselves inheriting this situation, but it wasn't about me.
Okay, so Mike said that something had been sent here. We've never received anything here, so I'm not
No,
sure.
That was before I got on the project. It was my
Okay.
understanding that you had
Okay,
received
no.
that.
Okay.
What I've received is, other than those drawings that's set against the wall there, and the initial ones is what's been emailed, such as this, and so, we never had a full set of anything.
Okay. Understand. So y'all need some.
But
more
the project was put on
information.
hold, so,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
Because we kind of feel like we're sort of in the dark on some of it.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You all inherited a long process. You've been at this a long time.
Well, it seems like we're paying twice for something. It's almost like double dipping here, is the way I look at it. They ain't been a shovel put in the ground, and you all have withdrew almost 140 some, almost $150,000. And now you're wanting another 183,000. And every decision I've made so far has been on this $195,000. That's all you all could, you all have withdrew that. Apparently there's been no board member sign off on that. Somebody has withdrew that money with no approval. There was a bunch of money withdrew when there weren't no board in place. This is taxpayers' money, and this is co-severance money right here. So this is a lot of money right here.
Absolutely understand.
So that's right at $330,000 we would be paying you if we agree to you right now. Do you think do you think $330,000 is appropriate?
I think it's absolutely appropriate for all the work that we have been done.
You do.
Yes, sir. And we have invoiced according to directions from previous board members, directions from the director. None of the work that we have done has been done directly from someone. And I'm sorry you all find yourself in this situation.
When can we expect to hear back from you all?
I don't know. I need to talk to council.
Okay, well, we're in a time crunch, you know, so.
So here's what I do. We'll go ahead and we'll make these changes. We'll go ahead and we'll talk to them and give them that information. We won't proceed any further until you all are all satisfied that we're doing what you want and then we have an agreement in place.
But you will come back with the changes so we can see that.
Oh, sure, we can
Okay.
deliver these.
Well, no, I thought you said earlier we need to stop on that until
I
we
did,
get this
but I-
money. I think we need to get this money straight right now myself.
okay.
So you're stuck on the $330,000. No, I mean, that's it. No questions asked, right?
No, so that's not what I've said. I'm saying, as we've said all along, based on the construction number, I'd like to go back and propose a fee to finish the work, okay? There's been a couple of things that are going on. I can't go back to my consultant and say, how much can you use of what was done before? So I can't give a fair fee until we finalize. Once this is finalized, which I think we're close, I can propose a fee to finish the project.
Well,
Well, the fee right now though, the fee right now, what are you, you're doing it by a percentage rate.
Yes, sir.
So the fee right now is what?
I'd have to look at the contract.
Well, okay, it's 183,000.
7.5%.
7.5% is what it is.
Okay.
So that comes to 183,000 right here. So that's what you're gonna, that's what, I mean, so the 140-some thousand, the 150,000 is gone. It's completely gone. That's what you all had told John Leak to just build it just like it's a complete new, starting from scratch.
And I
Is
think,
that correct?
I can't say that. What I would like to say is, we've said all along, we would like to finalize the design and then tell you what we think it'll take to finish. But I couldn't tell you that fee until we had this worked out.
All right, so, you're gonna provide us the changes and hopefully, Mr. Codell and his company, can let us know what an estimated cost alteration might be.
But
Right.
again, I don't know if they'll have that by Friday. just to be
Right,
clear.
right, but that's what-
Right,
Yes.
yes, you can't promise us somebody else.
I think we need to make a decision now.
Well, Brent, I don't know how we make a
You
decision
can't.
without information.
No, we
You
have to
can't,
do
you
that.
have to do this
So you don't
first.
think you can have it done by Friday?
He can have that done.
You can have
Have the
all that.
alterations, but not the.
No.
Well, we had a meeting 3 weeks ago. Why ain't this done now is what I wanna know. Why isn't it done now?
We were still getting requests for options on Thursday. So
Well, I
we're
mean, that
doing our
was-
best to try and answer what you all ask us to do.
Well, now we're putting a time frame on it, Friday.
Yeah, well, if we don't get any more change requests, there's no problem.
There's no
I
more
don't see any
changes.
more changes.
No more
Okay.
changes.
And I can talk to
But
Jim
it took
Codell.
us-
You're gonna be talking to Jim. We'll let him know that we need the numbers as
7.
quickly as possible.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we go ahead and talk about scheduling, well, when's our next meeting? Is it next Tuesday? Or is
The
it-
14th.
Uh,
So, no, not next Tuesday.
It's Tuesday after.
Do you wanna schedule a meeting for the 7th?
Is that, what day is that?
Tuesday.
It'll be a week from today.
Oh,
And that would give them time to present these changes on
Let's try to do
Friday.
that if we can.
It'll give you some time to think about it. It'll give Codell a couple more days than that to get the number together when you come back and consider all the information, decide what you're gonna do.
Well, we have to come together and then say we agree or we disagree.
Right.
But we've got to get it together first.
Guys, they just too much taxpayers' money wasted here. I can't in good faith.
Well, we can let them bring back see what it is and then decide.
This is not.
But you will be coming back, right, Friday?
Friday, sure.
Okay, as long as, and you'll be back.
Should be.
That's the two we want back.
That sounds good.
So Friday at 12:30,
Mm-hmm.
and then what is Tuesday?
The
Is
7th.
that,
10, is 10 good for, is it what Heather's got in from that email?
and is that us, or is that just you all?
For the special meeting or the 7th?
For the set?
For the 7th, what time?
10.
10 o'clock on
Do
the
10.
7th. He's asking.
Do you want them to come
Right.
back on the 10th, I mean, on the 7th also? Wouldn't hurt, would it?
I think,
Depends.
given the context of the conversation on the 7th, I think you probably need to.
Definitely.
Because at that point, we'll have the information from Cordell.
Yes.
Because we need them and
10
you.
o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So 12:30 Friday and 10 Tuesdays.
Who was that called me on the phone before I got here? Was that you or your
Right.
partner?
That's not Parker, Joe.
All right, he was telling me, which I told him, I said, you don't need to talk to me, it needs to be done in front of the board members. But there's two things I do remember he told me. I was asking why all this ain't done. He was putting the blame on Melanie and putting it on John Leap with Codell. Why was he putting, what did John Leap have anything to do with?
I'm sorry, I wasn't part of the conversation. I don't know what the context was.
Something about numbers or something, about crunching the number. Well, I said, well, what are they to crunch?
Oh, I
Well,
think there's, what he may be getting at is what I've been saying. We were still getting requests for changes Thursday of last week, so we're still making them.
But she has
I'd
tried
like to
her
say
best. You don't need
something,
to
yeah.
put the blame on her.
I would like to say something.
Sure.
When we had our meeting, and Mike, I've talked to Mike several times through from our last meeting, and these changes, the whole point, requesting changes, I mean, and I've got my text, like even on Thursday I sent him pictures. I don't hear it. Friday, you text you at 11:30, I think. You said you were working on the drawings. It's Tuesday. I still haven't, heard anything. I know it's holiday weekend and so forth, but I mean, you keep saying this like you were still getting changes. The whole point in this, you all working through me, because I was meeting with Barb and Heather to make these changes. Okay, I never even got the opportunity to meet with them the second time because the changes didn't reflect what, it was these do, but that's because I sent 2 pictures on Thursday.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like you keep saying you were still getting changes. And then it's like, well, I've never seen another, we've seen this elevation and the street side, that everything, but I was hoping that I would have these changes, such as the changes we made today, before, I guess what I'm saying, the whole point of me working with Mike before we had this next meeting or a special call meeting was so I could meet with Heather and Barb. So, I mean, we sent, right here's, and we've done 2 calls to go over, but I mean, I don't think Thursday is the big holdup from Thursday to Tuesday. I don't think that, I mean, you're talking about changes from, okay, we took out 2 columns, you said you had to talk with,
Structural engineer.
yeah, and so
Right.
John said that was fine, because it was, okay, so that was the change. The other concern we had was closing this, they explained that to me, so that was not changed, that was changed on the first one. So the only other change was, he sends me this, and I'm like, no, that, I don't like, I knew that Barb, and so those changes were made
Yeah.
Thursday, so it's not like I made major changes and had already approved the floor plan. So, I mean, you're talking about a change of columns.
Oh,
So, and I don't know, how long, I mean, does it take 4 days to change?
Melanie, have they ever satisfied one time the other board on any drawings? Am I correct on that, that they never did
Uh,
get them away,
no,
nobody,
I mean-
anybody wanted them?
Well, when the project stopped, those were the last drawings, and I think everybody was on, on cue with that, but the project was stopped. But I mean, the model, of course, was not, and then that was the second,
Folks, let me ask you a
Last week,
question.
so.
If you all are dissatisfied with us, would you like us to step aside? I mean, I sense you're not happy. We serve at your all's pleasure, but if you all want us to end our association with the project, you just have to ask us. I want to do whatever you think is best for the community.
Well, the taxpayers are at loss right here. I'm furious over this money. I am furious. People's on starvation in this county. $150,000 is a lot of money to me to want to start from scratch. I mean, it wasn't the other board's fault on what was it, Melanie? Where we got charged, what was it? On the schematic, on the drain lines and
Oh,
stuff?
when the survey, we were charged for the plan that came into place after we realized you couldn't build over the underground utilities. But what I was asking Chuck at our last meeting, for us to be charged for that, it wasn't, I had already provided the survey. You all had provided the plans, but then you come back and said after going through layers of the survey, we can't do this plan. So my question was, and it's not clear in here, was we charged for that? Because it wasn't the board's fault. We didn't read the survey. We didn't go through, the survey went straight to you all. So those were just some questions about.
And they're fine questions. I can't answer. This project is not off the good. So we'll have to review it. But again, folks,
And then the money was pulled down with no board, right? That's another question.
That last invoice, we did not have a board in place.
How much money was
But
that?
this right here, that's the 25,000.
Didn't we get billed twice once, did you say?
I think
Well,
he figured
they-
that out.
Well,
no.
it's unclear. It's unclear
Yeah.
from the invoices.
Oh, okay.
But here's, they've asked you questions that you can answer
I
today.
can't answer
They can't answer your question today. I think they need more information.
But if we can have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, it just, as Brent's mentioned several times, you're $150,000 into this already. With all the work, and we're, I think, 3 days away from having final drawings. Frankly, I don't know that you're starting from scratch again. I mean, you're not. But if you let him go, you
Yeah.
definitely are starting from scratch.
Definitely.
So let's take a breath. Let's come back
We-
on Friday, look at these
Yes.
drawings.
Absolutely.
Let's find out what the final cost estimate is from Codell.
if they can get
If they
that
can
Friday.
get, well, at some point, we're gonna
Right.
get the final cost
But at least we
estimate.
can see them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Let's keep our fingers crossed, they might.
Tim is going to let us know what his firm says they need to complete the project. We hope that that's within the budget that we have. If it's not, then that's a conversation we'll have. But today, there's not information to make decisions on
Nothing.
either
We
side of
cannot
the
make
table.
rash decisions,
No.
or it'd come back and bite us.
So, everybody knows what questions are being asked. Hopefully by probably next Tuesday, we can start having answers to those questions. Okay?
Because I can see us getting closer to everybody being happy.
Sounds good.
Okay, folks, we'll see you Friday, 12:30.
12:30.
When you come back,
That sounds
bring
good.
somebody with your firm that can explain, bring the drawings too. That can explain every single time you all build this and what that is for.
I'll do my best.
And whoever withdrew the money, whoever on our board that was supposedly approved it, have somebody to answer all that information. That's taxpayers' money.
Of course, that was the old
It's
one.
something's gonna have to, that was the old board, but
I won't
I'm
be
gonna
able
have to
to
answer
provide
it for it.
Folks, I'm sorry, I won't be able to provide. Who on the previous board approved anything. That'll have to come from your all's minutes, from records, whatever you might.
You've got all that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Did anybody on our board approve for anything else?
These would be put through with the financial report, is how they would have been.
Can I suggest that that conversation be on Tuesday,
Mhm.
Friday?
Right.
Let's, on Friday, let's talk about the changes, the new renderings, and hopefully have numbers from Codell. But as far as the invoices and the payment and all that, let's focus on that on our special meeting on Tuesday. Can we do that?
Yes. I agree.
Sounds good.
We've got to get the money situation straight
That
before we
sounds good.
can do anything. I'm too good-hearted. I can't mistreat a taxpayer. That's all they are doing. That's $150,000 gone up in smoke if we can't do something about this. I can't live for myself. I can't.
Well, by Tuesday, we ought to know all that.
Okay.
So we give everybody terms.
Super.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.